For the cruise, if you have your diamond and you hit Success Club, if you lose your diamond, you fall out of the cruise. If you miss Success Club, you fall out of the cruise. It's the same qualifications I had to go through when I first earned the trip to Atlantis. And it just teaches you how to be proactive in your business, to consistently teach you how to watch your diamond every single week, to have that do what it takes attitude, to hold it, to maintain it, and to keep staying on that offensive mode, to keep moving forward. So remember, just because you get diamond in the next 90 days or you're diamond now, just because you hit Success Club June, July, and August, if you lose your diamond September, October, November, December, or you don't hit Success Club, then in those months, then you wouldn't be able to bring a significant other unless you pay for it. So getting yourself, your body physically on the cruise is diamond within 90 days, Success Club June, July, August. Okay. Now know that too, as long as there's room occupancy, the ship's going to fill up as it gets closer. You can always add somebody on, and pay for them yourself. That's totally up to you as long as there's room. So, do you guys have any questions there?
I just have one question.
Yes.
If, we're working our husband's business center, does the Success Club points work for us towards that? No.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I know, bummer. It's the same thing for, it's exactly what I had to go through too. And so it teaches you how to be able to focus on your business center, and then backup plan would be into your husband's business center. Bye. Love you. Have a good day. Would be into your husband's business center. And then as far as, so today, if you guys are diamond and you hit Success Club in the month of May, and you held your diamond, then we have a leadership call. So about a month and a half ago, I think it was in April, I ran with 3 other elite coaches, a leadership mastermind class of mastering the basics. It was awesome. It went so well. The biggest takeaway was the masterminding calls. And so we are going to continue doing those every single month. So another perk of being diamond and hitting Success Club is that you'll be invited onto those calls. That's for your whole downline. That call is super powerful because you're getting nuggets from 4 elite coaches. And then also we are going to have Nicole talk about today how she got to diamond in 20 days. And so I'm going to kind of have her practice a little bit today on this morning mastermind of how she did that as well. But it's definitely, I think, the biggest thing that I noticed within our team is the mindset shift that needs to change of, number one, switching from a hobby coach to working your business. And I know Nicole's going to talk about this because we went on a walk, and I was like, holy smokes, you just started your business and your mindset is like totally in the right spot already. Mindset is everything. And that's a huge piece with Tony Robbins. I'm super, super excited. Also, gives me the chills to actually tell you guys this. I've been working with, my Tony Robbins life coach, and I was talking to her about how can I best help my team with their belief in themselves, with switching that belief, with building confidence, growing themselves. And she's like, Jessie, we have this business mastery customized training, but you have to apply for it. So behind the scenes, the last 3 weeks, I've been going through these extensive application processes, profiling. They've been profiling me. And I had a conference call. There was 4 of us on the call, and they chose our team to do. Tony Robbins doing a customized training for our team. They're flying out to Oregon to meet with us. It's going to be in the fall. It's going to be for the whole downline. But do you want to know why they chose our team? They turned down one other Beachbody coach because because he said Tony Robbins only works with people with a servant's heart. And that's exactly what he got out of our profiling. It gives me the chills because you guys, we are like the beta test for this. This is like it is a mind-blowing opportunity. He said bare minimum, again, like my whole body is like poking out. I need to shave again, obviously, because
you see my chills on my arm?
yeah, he said bare minimum, you can expect 30% growth in your business by attending this event because it's going to be a customized training. And I said, we go to these summit, we go to leadership, we go to these different events, and you're on this like highlight reel, right? Everything Beachbody is fun, party, and how, right? It's all relationship building. Like, who doesn't like to have fun? That's what it's all about. But it's always the how. But what is it in your business that holds you back from treating it like a business, from doing the work every day, from getting out of your own head? It's right here. It's the belief, it's the confidence, it's the consistency. Hey, Ashley. And that is my mission, is to work with my team on that end, the confidence, the belief, that just get out of your own way, be unstoppable, and each and every one of my coaches leave a legacy. And then, of course, hit you guys up with the vacations and the memories on the other end. And he said, that's why we chose you. That's exactly why we chose your team. And so when he asked, like, what numbers are you hoping to achieve? I'm like, numbers? What do you mean? And he's like, well, clearly I could tell from your profile you're not a numbers person. And I was like, yeah, I don't ever think about numbers. And he said that's when he shot out that minimum 30% increase. And then he also said that basically our team will leave a mark within Beachbody because nobody in the company has ever done anything like this. And from this, it's going to be a duplicatable process. So I'm thinking, we're setting the dates today. I'm thinking it's going to be like the third week in September is kind of what we're looking at. It's going to be on a weekend. So those that are out of town, you're not going to have to, you might miss like Friday of work, but it's going to be for the whole downline. They're actually going to do a webinar for our whole team to explain all of the details of it. But it's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. So we'll have more details, but I'm super excited. I just found out on Friday that our team was chosen, and what a great way to kick it off, to go to UPW. Then we have then we have Nashville, and then we'll have a down month, actually 2 down, a month and a half. And then September, third week of September is kind of what I'm thinking of. I just have to make sure that works for them too. So we'll get more details out on that. Do you guys have any questions?
Will it be like a conference kind of a thing, like a 2-day?
Mm-hmm. So
it'll be like in Portland or something?
Yep. And it's going to be all day, one day, and then the next day will be like leadership. I'm not sure exactly classification of where we're doing the leadership. I would assume diamond and above. But one thing he told me was they were suggesting like the end of the first day to do like a board break. And I'm like, what's a board break? And he's like, literally a board break. He's like, we walk on fire at UPW. Most people don't ever think about walking on fire just for fun. And he said those are things that get you over your limiting beliefs. So like most people are mortified to walk on fire or to break wood with their hand. And he said it's really interesting to see like a 300-pound man not be able to bust through a piece of wood because of what's going on in his mind, and then to see a 125-pound woman totally crush this board. And he said what happens is basically, all of your limiting beliefs are on the same side as you, and all of where you want to be, your goals, your dream, your destiny is on the other side. And when you can let go of those limiting beliefs, you smash right through that board, and that's how they end day one. And he's like, the tears are flowing. Like, this is something like you've never seen. He said, you're not going to go there and get all this like, fun, party. He's like, it's going to be an amazing time, but you are going to overcome all of these incredible, huge obstacles that have been in your way that are holding you back. And then your team is going to go home and be, just totally magnified, crushing goals. Mm-hmm. And then the second day would be that leadership piece. So, and then there'll be continuing progress too, whether it's group calls, individual calls, for accountability and for further support. But this is definitely something like I see yearly, like to continue on and progress with as our team grows. Because if you're a leader and you have coaches, what's the number one thing you struggle with? Trying to help your coaches get out of their own way, right? Mm-hmm. To help them understand the magnitude of this business, right? It's not you. You know what to do. You know how to do the work. Like if you're not hitting Success Club, that's you. You know how to do that. It's you making that switch yourself. But then in order to lead your team, I know for me, I was like, how am I supposed to help these people? I can't do it for them. And so it was like this, I totally see as that opportunity to have professional help with people being able to just truly become their best self, mm-hmm. mentally. And then we have it through physically, through fitness and health, right? So we should have a team of just amazing individuals, popping out, like their true self popping out. And it's going to create just an incredible team culture. And so I'm super, super excited. So I'll have more details will come of that, but do you guys have any questions at all that you want to talk about? I have Nicole. I asked Nicole if she would kind of share, kind of her experience. So Nicole had, been a discount coach on our page for about 3 years and was just like watching from the back end. And I had talked to her, different times about coaching, and it was never a good time for her. She wasn't ready. She's had a lot going on, a lot happen. And just all of a sudden one day, she's like, I want to do this. I'm like, what? And just like this, something switched in her. And as soon as it did, 20 days later, she was diamond. And so I want her to share, like I was saying, we went on this walk and I was like trying to ask her, like, what happened? Like, what switched for you? And what came out of her mouth blew my mind. And it was so simple, but so profound. And it was all about her mindset. And so this goes to show you how in tune your mindset has to be with your success. You have to believe it before anything, because when you believe it, that's when it's going to happen. But up here, when you keep telling yourself, like, I don't know if I could do this, it's not going to happen. So I was listening to Tony Robbins this morning when I was doing my workout. Like he says, the income you're making right now is what you're supposed to be making, because that's the cap you put on your head. That's the cap you put on yourself of, this is what I'm capable of. But when you are capable of abundance and, freedom, and you have that mindset, everything is unstoppable. And my biggest tip, and I keep hearing it over and over in Tony Robbins, is the more you add value to people's life, the more you can give of yourself, the more you can do for others, the more abundance you're going to receive in return. And that could be used on a multitude of levels, right? Like, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about every single day when you show up to your Facebook page, how can you provide value to people? People don't care that you just got your workout in. People don't care what you eat, but how can you provide value in those posts, right? Steph and I's whole training at Summit is all about, like, if you can envision your goals and dreams in 2 years and close your eyes and truly feel it and see it and taste it and know that you can make that happen through social media, what would you be willing to do? You're the one in your own way. So what is it that you need to do in order to provide more value, to put more thought and intention into your posts, and to be relatable to people just like you and be adding more to your network? So Nicole, you can, if you don't mind sharing, what triggered you to get started, and then also what your thought process was, to create success for yourself, what you kind of did and where your mindset was.
All right. Good morning. I think basically like what we talked about that day when we were going on a walk is that I got to a point where I was watching you and others that do this through social media, and how you guys were finding your happiness and you were creating the life that you want. And I was sick of feeling stuck where I was as a mom and a wife, and just in life, not wanting to accomplish the things that I needed to in a day. And I needed to find something that was going to give me that drive to want to be better and to work on myself. So that day when I decided I was going to do this, I, did what you tell us to do. I set up my husband because I was able to. I set up my cousin so I could get started right off the bat with no messing around. And then I took your gap papers, I took your diamond builder sheet, and I print everything out. And I decided hey, today I start a full-time new job. I'm doing it, at home. I don't have to put full-time hours into it, but there's no negotiating what we do, because to be successful and to grow, you have to treat this like it's a full-time job. You have to treat it with the fact that you're getting up today and you're starting something that you're your own boss. So you have to make yourself, nobody else can do it but you. But I treat Jessie in my mind kind of like she is my boss. She's telling us what we can do to be successful. And she's obviously done a great job helping others and continuing her business. So why wouldn't we do exactly what she tells us to do? So if she says, I'm visual, so I have to print it out every single Monday and start new. But if she tells you to set your goals for the week, you set them and you do it. If she tells you to work out every day, drink your Shakeology, to do personal development, you do it. Because if you were starting a new job and you went to your new job and your boss said, this is the list of what you have to do every single day to do your job right, you wouldn't do half the list or you wouldn't be good at your job. So to get to that point, I just think that there's no excuses to not hit these milestones that we're supposed to be hitting every single day to continue to grow. People are going to tell you no. People are going to tell you yes, but you have to just keep pushing and pushing and asking. And for me, since I'm so new, obviously my family, my close friends are the first people I'm going to go to and say, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I thought you would be interested in this. I would like you to join me if, this is something you would like to do, and support me and learn how to support yourself here with accomplishing your goals and what you would like to do. I want to be here with you. I want us to start on this journey together. And half of them are going to say no, but half said yes. And you just keep going and going. And I think that I just don't want to lose that mentality of this is my new life. And there's unless I'm not going to quit. So you're just going to treat it every day just like that.
Awesome. So it's the one thing that really stood out to me that she had talked about was the mindset of, you had said something about if I was to go get a full-time job and I showed up but didn't do the work, would I get paid? No, you'd be canned. You'd be fired, right? Day one. If you showed up and you're not doing the work, you'd be fired. So why would you do that in your own business working from home? If you're a stay-at-home mom and you had to go get a full-time job and work hours, to be away because you had to make that change, when you knew that you had the opportunity to do that from home, you'd be so devastated and so upset. Like, think about being gone from your family 40 or 50 hours a week. And right now you have the luxury of being at home. Like, what does that look like for you? What are you willing to sacrifice an hour a day, hour and a half a day to get that in? You know, or, you know, think like Brianna goes to work. Like, what is that driving force to get you, you know, maybe quitting your job's not the goal. I'm just using this for example. What is that driving force? And it's not you. You're not your driving force. What is that external driving force that's going to get you to treat this like a business when, yes, you're short on time, but to have more time with your family? You know, if in 2 years of treating this like a business, an hour a day, hour and a half a day, if you made that sacrifice and you were able to quit your job, would it be worth it? You know, like I never imagined quitting my job. That was not my goal. I loved what I did. And at the time, I didn't realize how imperfect my schedule was because I didn't really ever imagine or think about having an opportunity that could give me that luxury. I truly, honestly was very naive to social media, to network marketing. I had no clue. I mean, really, I only color my hair blonde. So it's definitely like I didn't realize that until I started putting in the work. Money has never been my driving force. Like I said, it was that one vacation. That's why I'm treating this vacation exactly like our vacation. And it was that vacation. And the reason why is because I wanted to give that to my family. I wanted to be able to take my family on that vacation. I wanted to know what it felt like to put my feet in the sand with my daughter in a place that I would never, ever imagine going. You know, it's those things. It's not the mundane activities of hitting Success Club, of getting diamond and chasing your diamond. Those are non-negotiables. Your goal is so much bigger. You know, like when you think about this vacation, wouldn't you do whatever it takes to get your family on this vacation, to make these memories? You know, like to be able to quit your job, to be able to pay off debt so you don't have financial burden, like all these things. And then think back, what do I have to do in order to make that happen? It's just these non-negotiables. You're never on defense. You should always be on offense. Just because you hit Success Club doesn't mean you sit back, you know, in your recliner and eat bonbons. You are constantly working your business daily, treating it like a business and being consistent, because only more abundance is going to happen. You're going to have the opportunity to help more people. So how can you sell yourself through social media? How can you put yourself out there in such a way that's going to attract people to you? Now, right now, you guys all do a great job at posting on social media, but we can all improve. So when I talk about my mission statement, I am not kidding you when I tell you, when I came up with that mission statement and it was so deep-rooted inside of me, that is what pulls me out of bed. Because what happens with your goals and your why, you get disappointed, you get let down, you have these rules that you put, you know, with these goals. And when those rules are broken, you get crushed, you get disappointed, you get let down. The only reason you're going to get let down is because you have these rules around all of it. Okay, so when you think about what your mission is, again, it's an external resource. It's not you. It's not what you're getting out of it. It's a mission that you are on that drives you out of bed every single morning. It's your mission that keeps you up late to get your work done. It's not about you. If you are here to do something big and great in this world, you have to get out of your own way and stop thinking about me, me, me. This is what I want. This is what I want to happen. Oh, poor me, this happened. Oh, poor me, this happened. Who cares? Don't sweat the small stuff. All of that is so little and minute. You have so much more out there in front of you. You have bigger problems to worry about than all these little things going on, right? It's always the bigger picture. And, you know, the other thing that I heard this weekend in my personal development was like, most of the time we don't reach our goals and dreams is because they're setting us up for our destiny. And I love that. Like, if you guys believe in God or higher power, whatever it is, you know, you think about, like, we all have these goals and dreams, you know, that we would like to see happen. And maybe they don't happen at the deadline or the timeline that we have them. But if we're truly consistent and are in the right space of paying it forward and having that servant's heart, you are going to be set up for something that is so much greater. You are going to be able to impact so many lives and be able to truly, truly create abundance for your family. But when you're in this limiting belief of like, oh my gosh, I need to get to Diamond, I need to hit Success Club because I really want to do this, this, and this, this is where you're locked. You got to bust out and know that, like, there's greatness all around you. How can you provide that? How can you receive, you know, all of that happiness and be able to be filled with abundance when you're trapped here? And you guys, if you don't have the ultimate edge, I would get that. Remember, it's $15.95. I'm sure, I know that was for the month of May, but I guarantee you, if you reach out to Michael, you can get that for $15.95. And that's a game changer. And, you know, if you're not able to go to UPW or you're able to go to UPW, that's going to set you up in a way mentally to get you on this track. And especially with this training that they're putting on for our team, you are going to really understand how incredible Tony Robbins truly is. And so if you need Michael's contact information, you can message me, but it's on the team page if you kind of scroll down. And all you do, it's a $300 program, but you can get it for $15.95. Download all of the DVDs to iTunes and then send it back. You know, creating lasting influence is another awesome one. But that's kind of the whole mindset. Like, you see how, like, amazed I am and wanted Nicole to share is because so many coaches are striving for that mindset, and here she's starting with it. Like, nobody told her. It's just that's why she got to Diamond so quickly. She believed it and just got out of her own way and just made it happen. Is being proactive. It's not, you know, oh, I got to Diamond, sit back, you know, and let my business be. No, we all know that you can lose Diamond as fast as you get it. It's being proactive. It's, what do I need to do in order to continue moving forward? Because Diamond is a non-negotiable. This business is so much bigger past Diamond. And, you know, Diamond is not where the income growth is going to come. You know, Diamond is, you're limiting yourself on the people that you can help. When you can duplicate Emeralds, when you can continue hitting Success Club, you are helping more people help more people. That's what this business is about. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about you and me getting healthy and losing weight and reaching fitness goals. That's just the bare bones beginning, like putting our socks and shoes on. You got to put the rest of your clothes on before you head out, right? Like, that's how I see it. You're not going to, what?
One of the other things I think for me that I try to remember every day, since you're kind of talking about that, is that I want to be the leader that, like, we have with you. So I don't have coaches yet that are really going and, I mean, I have one, but I want to be, for her, the example that I want her to be to whoever she coaches, you know, and I think that's really important to remember, even when you're not at the point yet of growing, is that we want to lead by example from the get-go. Because if we start without that mindset, you're going to start people without that mindset. And that's going to make it take more and more time, to get there. If that makes sense. I just feel like I wanted to put that out there real quick.
Well, and it's that duplicatable process. You're more excited to share what you did in that consistency. And that's what coaches follow is, okay, this is when I started, but this is when I drew the line in the sand and decided from here, this is what I was doing. And when I hit that point, that is when I started seeing success. So like Nicole's saying, this is your story. You're the one writing it. So, if you're sick of your excuses and you're sick of, everything that you keep telling yourself, you own your own business. You have the opportunity to draw the line in the sand today and say, you know what, enough's enough. I'm done. I'm doing that gap tracker every freaking day and filling it out completely. I'm getting out of my own way, and I'm going to post and share on social media with thought and intention and purpose to be able to add value to people's life every single day. I'm going to post 3 to 5 times a day, because the more I can put myself out there, the more people are going to be able to see what I'm doing. The more I'm going to motivate and inspire people. It's all about what can you do each day to improve. You have that opportunity to start today. And, and if you want to be able to go through and earn those vacations and become that leader and get out of your own way and build confidence and belief in yourself, it begins with those small daily actions. Those small daily actions are what are going to create, again, abundance and greatness. Dessa, did you have a question as you walk away? Whoops, sorry. Whoops, hold on. Did you have a question? You're unmuted.
Okay. No, I just, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to kind of throw something out there. I started that, the goal activity tracker, I think it was 3 weeks ago. And I think what happened was I was comparing myself to you. And so I was being defeated because obviously I've only been doing this since August and you've been doing this for 5 years. And so I was getting frustrated because I wasn't getting to the point that I wanted to get. Well, so I started that goal activity tracker, which just, every time I check that box off, it's like endorphins, I don't know, I'm just excited, woohoo, I checked that box off. So last month, in May, I signed up 3 new coaches and I have never even met them just because of my post on Facebook. I've never met these people. I just started posting on Facebook. I friend request 5 people a day. And then as soon as I friend request them, the next morning I go through and I send them a little message. Hey, I just want to introduce myself and just kind of tell them about me. So those 3 people have, last month came to me. Honestly, I one of them lives in Chicago, I think, or New York. I don't even know where she lives. But she just, off of my posts on Facebook, because of the daily social media checking off, making sure I get those in there, she started following me and was inspired and ordered the 21-day fix and is going along with the challenge group. But no joke, I mean, it was crazy last month, and it just goes to show you, posting, and if you being relatable to somebody, someone sees that and then they follow you and connect with you, and yeah, it's crazy.
That's thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. And it's so true. I actually was just talking, Stephanie Davies and I are working together for Summit, and she was saying she's never done private message invites, right? Our team is huge on that. And I was like, you what?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I've never sent private messages. I'm like, how do you invite? She's like, through events, and truly, honestly, I just send tons of hey girl messages daily to connect and build relationships. I'm like, how do you duplicate? And she's like, well, that's kind of the tough part, is that's where she's kind of having the holdup of duplication, is that not everybody's comfortable at posting on social media to really start attracting people. And so then that's where I was able to kind of come in and help her on that. And so, because as leaders, we're all sharing ideas to be able to help one another. Like, she's good in one area, I'm good in an area, like we can come together and help each other. And so she has built her own business, incredible business, by just posting through social media and Instagram. And like, when you think of the magnitude of being able to put your focus on there and continue the gap tracker, and then also to be able to attract people, like you're saying, just from your posts, and adding new friends and sending hey girl messages and building relationships. That's incredible. You know, like,
yeah, I don't have a page. This is just all off my personal page. I have no team page. I have no like page or anything. This is all off my personal page. And, you know, like I said, I just go in and start friend requesting. And these people, some people I know, some people I have no clue, some people I have mutual friends, some people I have no mutual friends. And, but, you know, as soon as they send me, or as soon as they accept my friend request, and there's some people that don't, you know, I go in and I check to see the ones that have and accepted and the ones that haven't. But I go in, and as soon as they accept my friend request, I go in and I check their Facebook page to make sure, because I've had some that are fake accounts. And so, and I started talking with them and realized, oh, this isn't the right way I want to go. But I just send them a quick message, and basically it just says, hey, thank you for accepting my friend request. I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me, and kind of just, it's really short. It's not lengthy at all. I kind of just took bits and pieces out of what you shared with us from our, you know, the friend request, and just kind of where we live and stuff, and family. And usually about, I'd say, out of the 5 messages, I usually hear back from 2 people. Then once I hear back from them, I start connecting with them. I start building a friendship with them, and start connecting with them. And then it just kind of grows from there. And then eventually, you know, it's like, well, what do you do? And they say, oh, I see you are a beach body coach. And we kind of just connect from there. For people that I don't know, that I've never met before, I don't jump on board with them and, like, you know, say, hey, you want to come to this challenge group? I kind of just ease my way in with them.
The other thing with that is too, that I always like, the one thing to remember when you're having those conversations, and I like you just said that, when you send these hey girl messages and when you're building relationships, you want to be doing it with no agenda in mind. You're not looking at trying to sell these people. You're not thinking like, oh, this is my next challenge pack, this is my next coach. Because when you do, they can feel that.
You'll fail.
Yeah, no matter what.
Totally fail.
They can feel that. And so when you are just, again, adding value and asking questions, like what would you ask somebody that you were talking to at the park while your kids are playing? You know, and you're not going to have these conversations and then be going down, okay, I need to ask about her family. I need to ask about her occupation. I need to ask about if she's got kids, what they like to do for extracurricular activities. You're going to creep somebody out. You have to have it be natural. And maybe you ask a few questions and it's at a point where it doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere, and just say, awesome. I hope you have an awesome weekend. I look forward to connecting with you again. And then in a week or two, you know, and you're seeing what they post on Facebook, message back and say, hey, I see you went camping this weekend. Where'd you guys go? It looks awesome. Start that relationship again. And that's part of the follow-up. And then they have time to watch you. And when you're consistent with that, you're going to build some incredible relationships. And when you're consistently posting weekly public invites for the coach opportunity for your challenge groups, then you are giving them the opportunity to see what you do. so it all comes full circle. And, if they're liking and commenting on your posts, you can reach out to them. But make sure that you are building those relationships with no agenda in mind, so then that way you can really connect with them and build a relationship that's not built on trying to get something out of them.
That's when I send those messages, or when I send any messages, I make sure that I only ask one question every time we go back and forth, because I notice if you
ask too many.
Yeah, and I've experienced it myself, doing it myself. If I, ask 3 or 4 questions, you can tell when they read the message. It shows you a check mark. They read the message. If they don't comment back, you're obviously, you kind of overstepped your boundaries, or just
lost them.
Yeah, because they don't want to be sold to, or they don't want to be.
Yeah, you bet.
And then another thing I've been doing is I go back from the post from the day before, and I look and see who liked my post, and then I send them a quick message.
Kind of the same thing, or like around the invite?
No, I'm trying to look for it right now.
There's a document in the team page, I know for sure it's in Team Rock Hard Bodies, of how to approach likes on your page. If you scroll through, that's how I used to do all my invites. And so then it really makes you put the focus on how to post really well to get more invites. To get more likes on your posts.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Does anybody have questions at all? Things that are working for them they want to share?
Hey, Jess, I just wanted to share kind of along the same thing, is that I started following The Gap and really saw an increase in following and people talking to me and experiencing a lot more interest. So
awesome.
I really appreciate this forum. I hit Success Club in 3 days this month. Yeah. And
holy smokes, that's awesome.
Crazy fast. People were like lining up, and I still have like 4 more potential people. And I'm like, what the heck? And it's really just because I'm being consistent. And I could be even way more consistent than I was.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I signed up 2 coaches, but one hasn't finished her enrollment. But I was looking at my chart. I'm keeping a track of all my coaches on my chart. But I'm really excited, and it's just been being consistent, and I'm working on being even more consistent this week. So
that's awesome. Good for you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, really
that's
excited.
Huge. I cannot believe the response that I'm hearing with that Gap.
Yeah.
The people, every single one of you guys is like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like, I love this. And it literally makes me kick myself of like, why did it take me so long to figure this out? But you live and learn.
Yeah.
And the one thing that Tony Robbins always hears too is the things that you don't track, you can't be successful in. You're not going to, if you're not tracking them, you don't know where you're at, right? It's like your finances. If you're not tracking where your money's going, your money's lost.
Yeah.
If you're not tracking the people you're talking to for the coach opportunity or challenge groups, they're lost, right? So how are you tracking? It could be as simple as pen and paper. It could be as simple as Excel spreadsheet. Like maybe for the month of June, like every month have something different. It could be Google Streak. If you're savvy at technology, I love Google Streak, but that took me like 2 weeks to set up. That was like my extracurricular project for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm a little slow on the get up there.
Way hard.
Yeah. But it's those things. Just find some sort of tracker that's easy for you to track. I never tracked for years. It was called Facebook Messenger was my tracking. And, people can get lost in the shuffle. It worked for me, but I can only imagine how much more successful I would have been if I would have actually like tracked really well. Those things make a difference. They add up. It doesn't take a lot of time, you know? So the gap is awesome. And if you're doing the work, make sure you send it to me. So then that way you guys get that cute little hat, and duplicate that with your coaches. Like, how consistent and easy is the gap? Some coaches getting overwhelmed. How easy is it for them to look at the gap and know what they need to do? And that's it. Like, most of it's self-explanatory if they know the basics of inviting, following up, and, you know, Facebook. It's pretty easy for somebody to be able to follow. And consistently, I mean, Ashley will tell you, she does the Power of 3 all the time. Power of 3 is very similar to the gap. It's just a different tracking method that we had before. And that's where she saw the compound effect happen. And that's what she does with her team. And it's crucial. You know, if you're not tracking your activities, they get lost.
Definitely. And I think for me, checking off those boxes, I think, what does Shalene call it? Dopamine.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It releases dopamine. It like every time I check off that box, I'm like, dang, girl, you got another one. And then I put in those little things, and it like literally makes me like excited. Like, I feel like, woohoo, I accomplished this. I got this done. I got this done. I got this done. And I only have this so much left to do, and I'm done for the day.
Okay. So exactly that right there is why I wake up at 4:15.
Mm-hmm.
So every single one of you just heard it from somebody else besides myself. When you get your to-do list done, when you fill out your gap before your kids wake up or before your day starts, right?
Yep.
You truly can be present mentally. I'm not talking about physically, mentally, with your children and your priorities and your husband.
Yeah, when I'm done with this, everything shuts off. And I used to not be like that. Jess can tell you right off the bat. My time management, out the door.
Yeah.
I was going from here to there, trying to do this and this and this and this and this. This goal activity tracker has 110% changed this. When I'm at this computer and doing my work, getting this done, my kids are asleep, nobody's bothering me, it's done for the day, and I'm out the door. Yes, I check in during the day, but once this is
your check-ins are on your own time.
Like, on my own time when my kids are napping.
Extra and over beyond. Well, I do the same thing, and it's like, if you have the time later, if they're napping or something happens, you can do that. But if you don't get to it, it's not like your business crumbles because you already got
there tomorrow
earlier. So there's definitely something to be said to have that weight lifted off your shoulder of like, oh, I got my work done. First thing in the morning. If that means you got to wake up 30 minutes earlier, you guys, I had to start waking up at 4:15 in the morning. I work from home, but I was I'm working on more trainings. I have Summit. There's different things I'm doing. So I had to start waking up 30 minutes earlier. Now, let me tell you my little trick for waking up at 4:15, because I was struggling the first week to like get my eyes open and actually physically start exercising that early in the morning. I have to take a shower. It doesn't have to be
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I have to take a shower. It wakes me up. And actually, this morning I did PIO, because sometimes that early in the morning, I don't want to do high impact workouts. And if you know me, you know PIO is like the number one thing my body needs. But I like dread doing something so mellow, low impact, like I'm like, it's like slowly killing me. I totally had the most peaceful morning listening to Tony Robbins this morning doing PIO. It was the perfect way to start off my day. And so think about that. Like, just find your groove of what works for you and do it. And you can tweak it as you go. So I love that. Awesome. Does anybody else have anything to share? Is anybody struggling, like have questions?
I just have a quick question. So you wake up at 4. What time do you go to bed?
I don't really. I would say I'm going to bed right now closer to like between 9:30 and 10. Yeah. Last night we were at the house until like 8 o'clock, came home. Like we were all covered in dirt and sand and had to shower and make lunches and clean up. And it was probably like almost 10 o'clock before we went to bed.
I was just curious because those are the same, that's the same hours I wake up at 4 and I go to bed at 10 and, you know, it's just trying to find that time.
I think one day on Sunday, I laid in bed. Everybody, Troy had left early to go over to the house because we rented a track hoe. And then Gracie had stayed the night at Mary's house. And so it was just Rudy and I. And Rudy always sleeps in his bed. Actually, Rudy does really well at sleeping in his bed, so I never actually have him sleep with us.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Troy was still not home Saturday night when I went to bed because he wanted to he's staying up late to work this machine. And then Gracie had left with Mary. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to take Rudy to bed and snuggle while we were out. And I never woke back up.
Yeah.
So mind you, I woke up with this little peanut snuggled next to me. And I was like, who wants to get out of bed now?
Yeah.
Like, you just want to lay there. And I laid there till 9 o'clock. That's not like me. Like, and Sunday morning, I laid there till 9 o'clock. Or that was Saturday morning. And it was just what I needed. And so, once you train your body and you get good sleep, then, you know, when you're on track there, that's good. You're going to eventually get more hours of sleep. But when you can get good solid sleep in that 6 hours of time, you got to sacrifice somewhere, you know, like
that's what I've been doing for, you know, since probably September. It's wearing on me.
Is that wearing on you, or is it the mental?
Both, you know, it's the physical and the mental. It's just, I'm just exhausted all the time, I feel like, you know, and so I'm struggling with being able to help other people, you know, because you do feel better when you exercise, but like not getting any sleep and then exhausted.
So are you taking any days off?
Yeah.
Of working out?
Yeah, lately I have been because I'm just so tired. Yeah.
So I would take like 2 days off for your, you know, of your workouts and sleep in. If you're going to bed at 10 o'clock, waking up at 4 o'clock, make sure you're putting in your work, because I know for me, I'm more exhausted if I'm mentally drained.
Yeah.
Than physically.
I wake up at 4:15 and 4:30. Those are like the 2 times I wake up Monday through Friday. And my key thing is I make sure that I drink like E&E or, except for right now because I'm doing the 21-day reset. But usually I'll do E&E or Energize, and then I like get my post going for the day, and then I'll do what I need to do, whether I work out. The key thing is I have to get that Power of 3 or your guys' tracker done first thing, because I wake up so early. My brain after 8 o'clock is like shut down. Like Nathan will ask me questions because he likes working his business then, and I'll just like blankly stare at an email. I'm like, can I answer that in the morning? Because I know I just can't help you right now. I'm so sorry. So I make sure that anything that I need mentally has to get done first thing in the morning. And then I make sure that Saturdays and Sundays that I don't wake up to an alarm. Saturdays I'll usually, or if I do wake up to an alarm on Saturday, I'll make it like a 6 o'clock one. And Sunday, like everybody in the house knows, let mommy sleep. That's like my recovery day. So, and not like to me it's 8 o'clock. But I noticed that as long as I give myself that long day of sleep to let myself even just lay in bed and like just be, in bed, that really rejuvenates me then for the whole week to be able to make it through that time.
Okay. That's kind of the same thing I do too, is on Saturday, usually it's not, most of the time, unless I have a lot of work to do, it's not generally 4:15. It's usually like 5:30 or 6. And then on Sunday, sometimes I'll still wake up early. Sometimes I don't set the alarm. But you always have to give yourself I always give myself a little more sleep on the weekends. So then I start fresh on Monday.
Yeah.
But a lot of it for me is mental. Like if I'm overwhelmed with things that I put in on my plate or not getting the things done that are like those non-negotiables, then I feel super heavy and super fatigued, and I'm like mentally fogged.
Mm-hmm.
Brenna, were you on the call when I shared the Wake Up by Chalene Johnson?
I don't think so.
There is this thing that I've been doing probably for 2 months, and I wake up to Chalene Johnson. It's a good morning wake up motivational thing. It's very mellow, and let me see if I can get that to you guys. Just 1 second. It's done text message, and it is. Give me just a second here. I'm not finding it right now. I will put it on there.
It's on her podcast too. If you scroll through the Chalene Show podcast.
Yeah, is it on there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Wake Up
Sleepyhead.
Wake Up Sleepyhead. Thank you, Jessica.
Okay.
But it's downloaded to my phone. So it's this little app on my phone. And basically, I just click on it and I listen to it every morning before I get out of bed. And then it basically starts my day. And then I think it's like 14 or 15 minutes long. But it's really improved me waking up in the morning. Like this morning, I woke up before my alarm clock even went off. And so I just listened to that, and it basically kind of just sets your day, the tone for the day, and gets you going, and talks about, being grateful and stretching and breathing and smiling, and it's awesome. I love it, actually. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'll look into it.
I listen to it every morning. You bet. It's a great thing to listen to.
Another thing that I do that is like, because I read Think and Grow Rich, and on there you're supposed to make kind of like an affirmation statement of like whatever your goal is that you're working on right now. And the key thing is you're supposed to say it first thing when you wake up in the morning. You're supposed to say it right before you go to bed. So the thing is when you say something over and over again, you just memorize it, right? So for a while I had to like read this piece of paper, but now what happens is when I wake up, I literally wake up and I'm like, I am a 5-star elite coach. Like that is the first thing that pops in my head when I wake up. And I think if you train your brain that way as well, very rarely when you wake up and start all of a sudden thinking that thought of your goals, that it keeps you motivated to getting up and getting your day started. You're like, oh, it's just like impounded in your brain.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
And I think, like you get this information and it's just implementing little nuggets, and just seeing those small changes can really add up to, something that really helps you have a routine. If you wake up with that good morning, you wake up with, wake up call, you wake up to telling yourself those positive affirmations while you're taking a shower, to get your stuff on, then all of those things are setting you up to be able to, do your workout, to be able to do your hour, your gap tracker, and then be able to go get in the shower and get ready for work. And two, like, you're running a lot. So when you're running, your body is being completely depleted, especially if you're running multiple miles. That's very taxing and exhausting on your body as well. So you might throw those in on the weekend, and during the week follow a program. So you're like, okay, I know this program's 30 minutes. This is what I'm doing. And then you have your gap that you're doing. And then, you do your energize, your positive affirmations, your good morning wake up call, your shower.
Yeah.
That might be an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Between all of that. Whereas your run might take you 45 minutes or an hour in itself.
Yeah, it does.
To do. Plus it's more physically exhausting. So those are just some little tweaks and changes too, that might be helpful. And just try. It's just trial and error.
I think a lot of it is because of my runs as well in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I don't know. I'm thinking I might start doing it in the evening. That way in the mornings I can do my short workout and then my gap training or my gap worksheet and get that stuff done, and then also do the training at night for the running. Might be helpful.
Well, and the other thing too, you know, maybe that's a time for your boys to go out on a bike ride.
Yeah.
You know, while you jog. So it's,
yeah.
you're not on your phone. You're not taking time away from them. It's a fun activity you can do with them.
Yeah.
Are you training for something for a run?
Yeah, the Hood to Coast. So I was training for a half marathon, but now I'm going for the Hood to Coast. So it's a relay race.
I did Insanity and like took off minutes, like not just seconds, minutes on my running time, and didn't run a single time. I did the whole entire Insanity program.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you cross train and you can kind of, you know, still be improving that time while not having to spend so much time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not so much concerned with my time as I am just the endurance part of it. So, yeah.
That's really where it kicks in.
I don't know.
The change in, what is that?
I have no idea.
The change in, crazy.
That was me. Sorry, I'm trying to load it on my computer for the first time, and obviously.
Oh, so the change in your workouts too. So if you're running like, you know, 2 days a week in the evening or on the weekend, and you're following Insanity or doing another intense program like that, again, like 30 minutes long, so you have that time management, you're going to build strength and endurance in a way that is going to truly help you last endurance wise through your running. So if you're constantly only running, you're only building your lung capacity to that point of pushing yourself. Your body's going to get comfortable and it's not going to continue to change either. Plus, a lot of times runners continue to run and they're not fueling their body with enough calories. So their body, they hit a plateau. There's so many different things with running that have to be looked at and evaluated, that when you can do that cross training like she's talked about and follow a program that's going to help you build that strength and endurance to create more endurance in your runs, it's going to save you time, energy, and it's going to give you that mental change that a lot of people are looking for. I did in the regular Insanity program. I was doing a challenge group. This was a few years ago when I ran Hood to Coast. Then I did the 21-day ultimate reset. And I was running more. I was running like 25 miles a week because I was trying to get ready for Hood to Coast. And I did the ultimate reset cleanse, and I was like mortified, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to come back. I'm not going to be able to like run. I beat my mile by 1 full minute a mile, and I went out and ran 7 miles the day after I finished my cleanse. So it just goes to show, like, your body is being prepared. And if you're fueling your body and your body is digesting food and processing it, you should have good energy as long as you're fueling your body properly. So if you're constantly tired and fatigued too, there's 2 things that can happen. It could be from not eating enough, or if you're exerting out too much energy and you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to start craving sugar. And so, which defeats the whole purpose. So think about those 2 things too. Like, that's a huge thing for me. Like, I could tell immediately when my body's fatigued from lack of sleep, is all these cravings start coming on.
That's exactly what's been going on. I've been craving sugar and yeah.
But also, you train your body too for the amount of sleep. It's all about getting good sleep. Mm-hmm. And I know for me, like laying in bed and 10 minutes of laying there, like kind of doing my own little meditation. I don't like the word meditating. I don't know why I'm like I don't ever think of myself. I always think meditation like yoga. I hate yoga. But it's like, so I do my own like form of meditation. And it's really like, I just kind of go into that like, where am I? Who do I want to be? What's my mission? Like, thinking about my mission and the lives that I can touch, and like, what does that look like? And kind of that idea. And then it's like, I go to sleep and I'm like in that mode of thinking, and I sleep so good. And then when that alarm clock goes off, I'm like pulling out of bed because I'm my mission. So those are a couple things to think about too. Well, it looks like we are over time, you guys, so we should probably wrap this bad boy up. But thank you so much for coming to the call. We'll be on again next Monday, 5:30. Don't forget your gaps and requirements for the cruise. Diamond in 90 Days Success Club, June, July, August, to get yourself physically, your body on. If you have questions on that, reach out to me. And then I'll have more information about all the Tony Robbins training and whatnot as well coming out here shortly. So have an awesome, awesome week. Thanks so much for coming to the call, you guys. Bye-bye.